Hello friends. Hey, I want to show you a couple of finds I grabbed at a local estate sale a couple weeks ago. And there's some antique T-bevel squares and an antique folding ruler. So first of all, this little one here cost me $2 because it was half off. And then the longer one cost $4.50. And this folding ruler ended up being $5. And they're really nice tools. They just don't make them this way anymore. But they've got, they both have copper and wood built into them. And this is made out of boxwood. And it's made by Stanley. It's got the little sweetheart logo. So it was built probably in the early 1900s, maybe up to 1930s. But I think it's older than that, just due to some of the history I found on these tools. The T-bevel squares don't have any markings on them at all that I can see. I plan on cleaning them up, and maybe when I do that, it'll reveal the maker. Funny thing about this little one is that it doesn't look like there's an adjustment knob for the bevel, because it's pretty tight, so it's actually set pretty good. But I don't see a slot in the bolt on either side, and it doesn't look like there's no scrapings where it's been sawed off or anything like that. So it's kind of interesting. The other thing is that most T-bevel squares are angled here, and this one here has a square. It's right angle. So that's kind of interesting. Although this one is. So the other thing about these tools is when I got home I started looking at them, and they each had a piece of masking tape on them, and they each had a little clue as to its history. For instance, this one says George Washington Thompson, father of Fred. Okay. This one here says G.W. Thompson, carpenter, Melrose, Illinois. And the folding ruler says G.W. Thompson, grandfather of E. Dean Thompson. So I'm always curious about the history of antique tools and, the work they've done and their owners and what they've been through and what they've seen. So I Googled, what else would you do? I Googled the name G.W. Thompson, and within a few minutes I came up with some pretty good history on G.W. Thompson and these tools. So G.W. Thompson was born in 1857 and died in 1944. And the lineage of this man traces back to my town. So I'm fairly certain that I've got the history on these tools. And one of the articles I read online was from a newspaper from 1907, and they had these little clippings in there, kind of updates of all the people that live in the area. And it said, G.W. Thompson will build a fine residence for Clarence Evans soon, 1907. So it's possible that these tools were used back in that time. Anyway, my plan is to restore these, or refurbish them anyway, clean them up a bit, and see if I can find any maker's marks on here that might be hidden through the rust and so forth. So let's get going on it. this cleaned up, and I'm putting a little Danish oil on there. As you can see, there's no maker's mark or anything like that. In fact, I did find a little crack up here. And also found that there's 2 screws here, and then 2 pins that go all the way through on the bottom. So it looks like at some point in time someone took a ball peen hammer to this on that side and maybe on this side. So I don't know if they cut the wing nut off or if it got in their way of their job, but I believe something at one time was there, but it's not there anymore. So that's the little one. Fun project. So in this one, basically I just cleaned it and put some more oil on it and cleaned the brass and buffed it a little bit. I just felt more comfortable doing that as opposed to bringing it down to the bare metal, and just thought that might be the better idea. Okay, that is perfect. It's right where you want it. So that when it tightens all the way, it's out of the way. Perfect. So I've cleaned the folding ruler, gave it a deep clean. I kind of like the patina, so I'm not going to really do any more than this. Sometimes when you over clean it, then it just looks bad. But at least this looks original, and I think I like it a little bit better this way. And I enjoyed doing it. Hey, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and click subscribe. Thanks for watching.